In today's tutorial, we'll be looking at how to incorporate the built-up neckline into a side cowl maxi dress. Hello, welcome to today's tutorial. My name is Priska Osegali. I am the lead instructor at Gold Imperial Academy, where we teach people how to draft their own patterns from scratch and how to create garments. And also the creative director at Gold Imperial, where we create bespoke garments for women and girls. I'd like to welcome you to today's tutorial. It promises to be very interesting. If you're game, let's go. Before me right here, I have the pattern for my client. I'd just like to show you how I'll be incorporating the built-up neckline to this. I have traced out my master pattern onto a different paper and then cut this out, then show you how we're going to achieve our built-up neckline with this pattern. Okay, so my client's measurements are, the neckline is 19, shoulder is 17, the across chest is 16, across back 16.5, and then I have my bust point 13, bust round 55.5, the underbust is 18. We would not need that for this pattern. The underbust round is 50, the waist round is 52, the hip point is 9.5. We'll be needing the hip point. Okay, her hip round is 57.5. We'll approximate that to 58. Her dress full length is 67. Okay, that is all the way to the floor. This tutorial will only concern ourselves with the built-up neckline. Okay, all right, that is what we'll be focusing on. This is my front pattern and this is the back pattern. So I'm going to cut out my neckline and then my shoulder line now. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel if you're yet to do so, and if you have, please don't forget to tell your friends about us and also get them to like, share and subscribe. Please don't forget to turn on notifications so that each time we post new videos you will be the first to know. We're starting with the front, so the first thing we need to do is to come down the base of neckline by 2 inches and then would go in from the neck point, okay, by half an inch. I have marked those points out. Next, you would connect those 2 points with either your curve ruler or you can use your free hand if you are able to manage that. But I'll prefer to use my curve ruler so that I'll have an accurate curve. So here we are. The next thing we are going to do is to slash open this line. Slash is all the way to your shoulder line, but not through, okay? Just slash it up to like 0.125. Okay, so can you see? So that will help us to move it. Okay, now you have to be careful so it doesn't detach. Next, we'll place this under a different paper, okay, because we would be raising this, all right, in order to have our neckline come up some more. All right, so we have placed it on a different paper, but before we secure this, we'll be raising the part that we have slashed. Okay, now you make sure that it is touching, that your original neckline is touching the edge of that paper. Can you see? Okay, you can zoom this in so you can see what I am doing clearly. All right, so you place this, making sure that it's still on a straight line, okay, but then you make sure that your original neckline is touching the edge of your paper. Okay, so you just do that, take your time and make sure you arrange that. You can see that we are going to be losing some parts of the paper. That's fine, as long as the original neckline is still within your paper, that's absolutely okay. So now I'm going to secure this. All right, so we have our pattern now secured on the paper, all nice and cool. Next thing I'm going to do is to square up a line, okay, from the half an inch that we made. We'll square up a line that is 1.5 inches, okay, so you can mark that. All right, and then use your ruler to just mark that properly, okay, so that you be sure that you have a straight line. So you can see that this point is really pointy. Just take your curve ruler and curve it up a bit, okay, so it's not too pointy. You understand? Just blend it in into your shoulder line, okay, so just the way I am doing. You see why you need your curve ruler? Okay, just blend it in. Okay, so we are good. Went up 1.5 inches, okay, that was what we did here. Here we went in by 0.5 inches, we came down by 2 inches. All right, confused? Hope we are all getting it. All right, this is beautiful, looking good. So next thing, we want to blend all our points, okay. We want to blend this to here and then blend this in, okay, so that we'll have our pattern all smooth. Just use your curve ruler and then blend it in, touching your original neckline. Okay, can we see? All right, so there you go, very easy. All right, so the next thing is to blend your neckline into your body of your pattern. Okay, so I'll just like to use broken lines first to see if I like what I am seeing. All right, now if this were to be a jacket that will have a button stand in front, then you would add your button stand, okay, before you start blending your neckline, or you use your button stand as the break line. For example, if I want my button stand to start from my front underarm, then I would do, for example, if I want it to be 1 inch, okay, so I would mark out my 1 inch, all right, and that is where I would connect all the way to that point. And if I wanted to start from my bust line, the same thing, I would come to the bust line and mark my 1 inch for the button stand. Okay, so I'll connect like this, okay, all the way to that point. Do you understand? So now I'm going to cut this out because this now becomes our pattern. Okay, so before I cut out, I would like to add my seam allowances. Okay, so just add your seam allowances all around. I always prefer to add my seam allowances before I cut out. So I'm just going to add 0.5, or you can do 0.25. 0.25 actually helps all your curves to relax properly. Now we can take this to our fabric and cut. So this is what we are going to be using, okay, to create our neckline, all right? So now I'm going to put this aside, and then I'm going to move to the back. Now, before we start with the back, I will advise that you match your front shoulder line with your back shoulder line, and then if there's any difference, you remove that difference by expanding your neckline. Do you understand? Because sometimes the back shoulder line is longer than that of the front shoulder line. So I should have done that first before doing this. However, I'll just go ahead, measure what I have on my front shoulder line, and then come and confirm what I have on the back shoulder line, and then take away the difference via the neckline. Okay, so what I have is just a bit. So I'll redraw my neckline from that point. So this is my new neck point. Now from my new neck point, I would square up a line, all right, on that point. Square up a line that is 1.5 inches. So I'll mark out 1.5. This is longer than 1.5. So I'll just mark out my 1.5 just the way I have done. So the next thing I want to do is to go in by 0.5 on my shoulder line. So from the guideline that I have here, I'll just mark my 0.5. Can you see? So I have my 0.5 right there. Okay, so this is 0.5. This is 1.5 inches. Next, I'll be extending my neckline by 1 inch. I would connect from the 1.5 inch mark that I have here to the 1 inch on my center back. So let me go through what we have done again. The first thing I did was to make sure that my shoulder line for the front and the back are the same. Then when I confirmed that, I adjusted my neckline accordingly. Now afterwards, at my neck point, I squared up a line, measured out 1.5 inches on that line, all right? On my center back, this is my center back. On my center back, I went up by 1 inch, okay? Then I connected from my 1.5 inches to my 1 inch on the center back. Do we understand? Are we following? Now, I also went in on my shoulder line, okay? That is inwards by 0.5 inch, all right? Which I have connected to my 1.5 again with broken lines. I'll be blending that in now into my shoulder line. I will advise that you use a curve ruler to do this. So I'll just place it like this, and then looking beautiful, right? Okay, so here we have it. So now we can add our seam allowances just the same way we have done for the front, and then we can cut out our facing because we need a facing for this. All right, we'll need a facing because even for this, I'm not going to be lining the garment. I'll just be needing a facing. So I'll use this to cut out a facing. So I'm going to add my seam allowances first and then cut out my facing. Okay, so these are the patterns now. These are our patterns. So we'll be using this to cut on our fabric. All right, so I'm adjusting my front so that it can lay better. I have gone in by 1 inch, and then I'm blending that into my center front, okay, so it can open up some more. You can curve this out like this. You could make it like a sweetheart. Okay, I don't know if you've seen some that are like sweethearts. Okay, so you go in like so, and then something like this. Okay, so depending on how you want the neckline to be. So for me, I'll just like the basic neckline. So I'll just connect this. Okay, that is all. Now we are good to go. We can now go ahead and cut this on fabric. And now you can add your grain line. Okay, how you want this to be cut. All right, and then you can also add all your other annotations. Okay, seam allowances where they are required. For me, I added my seam allowances already, so I do not need to add my seam allowance. So that is it, guys. This is it. I hope you found this tutorial very useful. Please feel free to ask me any question where you are confused. All right, just drop any question on the channel and then I'll be willing to answer you. Don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, subscribe if you're yet to, and also turn on the notification so that anytime I post new videos, you'll be kept abreast of what is happening on the channel. Also to remind you that we have online courses that you can partake of. Courses such as the Basic Bodies course, where you learn how to draft your own basic bodies from scratch. Yes, you can do that on your own from the comfort of your room because it's online. So you learn how to do that. To begin, please chat us up on WhatsApp via bit.ly/Gold Imperial. Just type that in your browser and it will take you straight to chat with us. We also have a community on Facebook, Gold Imperial Academy. Search us up and join. Our bespoke and pages are on Facebook and on Instagram as J Gold Imperial. Please do well to like and follow us on either Facebook or on Instagram. All right, till we come your way again. Thank you so much for staying with us. We hope to see you again soon. So hopefully I get to do a video where we show you the stitching of this dress. Okay, when I transfer this to fabric, I hope to show you a video of how I was able to put everything together and how it came out. All right, guys, so till we come your way again, my name is Priska Oserale. See you soon.